Zimbabwe is currently witnessing one of its most volatile political moments since the 2017 coup that ousted Robert Mugabe. The ruling ZANU-PF party is embroiled in a fierce internal battle, with Vice President Constantino Chiwenga launching a scathing attack on President Emmerson Mnangagwa through a 17-page dossier. This document accuses Mnangagwa and his allies of corruption, betrayal of the 2017 coup ideals, and unconstitutional ambitions to extend his rule beyond 2028. In response, Justice Minister Ziyambi, acting on behalf of Mnangagwa, issued a blistering rebuttal, branding Chiwenga's claims as treasonous and fundamentally flawed. Meanwhile, war veteran Blessed Gaza has emerged as a radical voice, naming corrupt officials and calling for mass protests and citizens' arrests. Amidst this chaos, Mnangagwa has distributed vehicles to ZANU-PF Central Committee members, a move seen by many as a strategic attempt to consolidate loyalty. Chiwenga's explosive dossier. On September 17, 2025, Vice President Chiwenga presented a dossier to the ZANU-PF Politburo, accusing Mnangagwa of presiding over a corrupt regime that has deviated from the goals of Operation Restore Legacy, the military-led coup that brought Mnangagwa to power. Chiwenga alleged that Mnangagwa's inner circle, including businessmen Kudakwashe Tagwiri, Wicknell Chivayo, Scott Sakupwanya, and Delish Nguwaya, had looted over $3.2 billion from government coffers. He claimed these individuals were corrupting party structures and manipulating state institutions for personal gain. Chiwenga also criticised the so-called 2030 agenda, which he interpreted as a covert plan to extend Mnangagwa's rule beyond the constitutional two-term limit. He warned that Zimbabwe was repeating the mistakes that led to the 2017 coup and demanded the immediate arrest of the alleged looters. Ziyambi's rebuttal, treason and defamation. Justice Minister Ziyambi responded with a detailed rebuttal, dismissing Chiwenga's allegations as reckless, malicious and defamatory. He argued that the dossier lacked legal merit and was an attempt to unlawfully remove a constitutionally elected president, which he labelled as treasonous. Ziyambi defended the accused businessmen, particularly Tagwiri, stating that he had supported Operation Restore Legacy by providing fuel, food and financial resources at Chiwenga's request. He emphasised that all government contracts mentioned in the dossier had cabinet approval and were compliant with procurement laws. Regarding the 2030 agenda, Ziyambi clarified that it was Resolution No. 1 from the 2024 ZANU-PF National People's Conference and was therefore constitutional. He accused Chiwenga of distorting party history and procedures for personal gain and warned that destabilising the government based on falsehoods amounted to treason. Blessed Gaza's radical intervention. Amid the high-level political feud, war veteran Blessed Gaza, also known as CDE Bombshell, has launched a campaign against corruption within ZANU-PF. In a series of fiery addresses, Gaza named several top officials, including Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube, Justice Minister Ziyambi, and Reserve Bank Governor John Mangudia, as part of a corrupt cartel he calls the Zviganandas. Gaza accused Mnangagwa of betraying the liberation struggle and normalising corruption. He claimed Mnangagwa was involved in the alleged poisoning of Chiwenga and called for mass protests across Zimbabwe, demanding the president's resignation. His calls for action have led to threats of arrest, and authorities have revived old criminal charges against him, including fraud and incitement to violence. Despite being expelled from ZANU-PF and facing a nationwide manhunt, Gaza remains defiant. He has urged Zimbabweans to unite in street demonstrations, asserting that the time for silence is over and that the country must reclaim its dignity from corrupt leaders. Mnangagwa's strategic distribution of vehicles. In a move widely interpreted as a bid to consolidate power and loyalty, President Mnangagwa handed over 67 vehicles to ZANU-PF Central Committee members in September 2025. The vehicles, funded by petroleum tycoon Kudakwashe Tagwire at a cost of overused $21 million, were presented as party assets to be used for grassroots mobilization. This gesture has sparked controversy, with critics arguing that it reflects deepening state capture and patronage politics. Chiwenga had previously opposed the donation, citing Tagwire's alleged corruption. However, a compromise was reached. The vehicles would remain ZANU-PF property, allowing the party to recall them if necessary. The timing of the vehicle distribution, just before the ZANU-PF National Conference, has raised eyebrows, especially as Mnangagwa faces internal resistance to his rumoured bid to extend his presidency. The move is seen as a way to secure loyalty from key party structures amid growing factionalism. Can Chiwenga be fired? Legally, Vice President Chiwenga can be removed from office by the president, but such a move would be politically explosive. Chiwenga is not only Mnangagwa's deputy, but also a powerful figure within the military and ZANU-PF. He played a pivotal role in the 2017 coup and has rebuilt his power base in recent months, rallying support from generals and party stalwarts. While Mnangagwa has accused Chiwenga of treason, there is no indication yet that he will be formally dismissed. Doing so could trigger a major political crisis, especially given Chiwenga's influence and the support he commands within the party and security forces. Some reports even suggest that Chiwenga has already resigned, though these remain unconfirmed. A nation on edge, Zimbabwe, stands at a political crossroads. The clash between Mnangagwa and Chiwenga has exposed deep divisions within ZANU-PF, while Blessed Gaza's radical activism has added fuel to the fire. The distribution of vehicles to Central Committee members, funded by a controversial businessman, underscores the extent of patronage politics and the influence of elite networks. As the succession battle intensifies and economic challenges mount, the country faces an uncertain future. Whether Chiwenga will be fired, resign, or rally enough support to challenge Mnangagwa remains to be seen. What is clear is that Zimbabwe's political landscape is shifting rapidly, and the coming months could redefine the nation's trajectory. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in the next video.